Then you try to get a bank loan to start a business and they're like, you've got no experience. Yeah, I know, that's why I went to business school. Yeah, we're not going to give you any money. Why would we do that? How do you get beyond this hurdle? So nobody likes losing their hair. It's no fun. Men, women, doesn't matter. Nobody wants to go through it. But it affects most men and it gets worse as you get older. So there are ways that you can mitigate and try to get in front of hair loss, and that's where today's video sponsor Keeps is here to help. Most guys start experiencing hair loss by the time they're 35. That's very young, and it's not a process that reverses itself. Now, would they like to keep their hair or regrow hair? Absolutely. And that's where Keeps is going to come in, and they're going to remove the hurdles that prevent most guys from treating the condition. Who likes the process of going to the doctor's office, the pharmacy, and standing in line for everything? Nobody. That's why Keeps, you can get good quality expert care without ever visiting the doctor's office or a pharmacy. All Keeps treatment plans are doctor recommended and delivered straight to your door for about half the cost of a traditional pharmacy. Keeps physicians are going to help you select the right products and treatments for your specific condition and hair goals, so you can create a routine that works for you, because products that you don't use are pretty much worthless. Easily subscribe to Keeps and get refill reminders so you'll never run low on the products you need to take care of your hair. So to get a special offer on Keeps hair loss treatments, visit keeps.com/SSR. I put a link right below in the description. That's keeps.com/SSR. I put a link right below in the description. Okay, so you guys know I get a lot of questions and emails. I'm a go-to guy as far as operating and running an exotic car rental company. So a lot of people come to me with the same questions. Sometimes it's easier for me to just address these. And whether you're starting an exotic car rental company or just any other company, the advice may come and sort of fit your specific mold. So two of the biggest problems you have in the exotic car rental space are insurance and financing. Today I'm going to talk about the financing of vehicles, because as a startup company, it's very frustrating to finance your vehicles and do it properly. The old moniker, it takes money to make money, is 100% true. Now, coming from nothing and trying to generate something is where you have the biggest problem, especially when you get fed that college is your panacea and you're just going to be able to get out of college and grab life by the horns, and you get your business degree and you get out and you're like, oh, you keep giving me all this money for my business degree and student loans. It's so easy. Everybody's good. Then you try to get a bank loan to start a business and they're like, you've got no experience. Yeah, I know. That's why I went to business school. Yeah, we're not going to give you any money. Why would we do that? How do you get beyond this hurdle? Because there's legal ways and illegal ways to do it. Now, illegal ways are doing personal lines of credit, personal financing. I don't like the idea of lying to banks, right? That's not a good way of doing it. That's what most people in the industry, that try to be in the industry do, is that they lie to the banks, they get a personal lease, they've got no debt really other than their student loans, they've got good credit, they're young or whatever, you've got a couple of bucks and good credit, you go to a bank and you say, I am going to lease this Lamborghini for myself, I'm rewarding myself, and then the first thing you do is turn around and rent it out. Well, the problem there is you're going to be out of trust with your bank because you're renting it out when you say you're going to be using it for personal use. You're putting a lot more miles on it than your insurance company thinks. Your insurance company, when you have a bank note, your insurance company requires you to have certain insurance limits. But when you're renting out a car that you're not supposed to be renting out a car commercially, then your insurance isn't bound to cover anything. So you're 100% out of trust with your bank, and you're taking a huge risk. And the only way you're going to be able to salvage out if something goes wrong is by committing like a federal crime. You're literally committing insurance fraud to then cover your bad decision, your bad debt. Don't do that. Obviously, I don't recommend that. The easiest way to do it is family money, which most people don't have. I didn't have it. A lot of people don't have it, but that's the easiest way to get into it. If you can go in and buy cars and not have to get approved for a loan. Otherwise, any loan that you get to start a business, you're going to need to personally guarantee it. If you're young or you don't have anything and you're just a dreamer that wants to get into the space and you realize, like, I really don't have a net worth, like you got the lint in your pockets. I was at that point in my life when I was younger, and I remember, like, I tell the story, I'm sure I've told it before. I was living at my parents' house and I would look over and I had a lease on a Corvette, still have the Corvette up there. Not my greatest financial decision, but I had a great time with it over 20 years. And I look over and I'm like, all right, plus minus $1,000 in my bank account, right? It's like whatever that money I make, I go out, spend it, go hang out, drink with my buddies and everything like that. Then I'm looking and I'm like, all right, my baseball cards aren't worth anything. My sporting equipment's not worth anything. I don't own a house. I don't like my lease on my car isn't really mine because it's owned by the bank. And I look over and I got, the jar of change. Take the jar, you get that little, I had an Absolute bottle with the top cut off full of change. I was like, that's my net worth, right? Like a couple $100. I've got no trust funds. I don't have any, there's nothing coming. Like I've got the old grandma gave me the savings bond, which is going to be worth $300 in 7 years. That's about it. So my net worth was effectively a jar of change next to the bed. You can't go up to a bank and say like, yeah, I'll personally guarantee that, because you have nothing to guarantee it with. So you either need somebody to co-sign for you, which is a risky move, right? Especially if you're getting into a business you don't know. Having somebody co-sign for you, you're taking a risk with their money, which in my opinion is worse than taking a risk with your own money. Because you may be able to walk away from that like, oh yeah, whatever. Like they took a risk, they knew what they were getting into. I'm not built that way. I'm not, and yes, it'll make you work harder, however you want to spin that to make yourself feel better. But if things go sideways and you lose somebody else's money, that is worse than losing your own. When people lose the bank's money or they get a grant or something like that, they don't care. Like whatever, it's the bank, screw the big banks and everything like that. I look completely different. People walking away from debt is a really bad personality trait. So I would advise against that. Now, you may qualify for something that I don't qualify for. There's a lot of like SBA loans and grants, which are a lot of paperwork. But if you're a minority, you can qualify for minority grants. If you're a woman, you can qualify for a woman-owned business grant. So there's a lot of stuff that I don't qualify that other businesses may. What I would recommend doing is you need experience and you need money, is going and working for a company that's in the space, right? And then ultimately, like, be clear, like, look, I'm young or whatever, I'll work with the company. I have dreams of starting the company, not competing with you. So if you want to get into the industry, don't go start a company right next to your boss's company and expect them to be okay with that. You go work for a company in California, go work for a company in Las Vegas and learn the business and get experience. And then don't go out and blow all your money, save it. So you have that starting nest egg that you're going to need. Then you can use personal credit cards if you need, or you start a business and get a business credit card. You want to incorporate your business, get a business credit card. Then it's fair game. Whatever you do on your business credit card, if you've got good credit, if you got $50,000 to your name, you can start getting into the space. And that's where you start small. You can reinvest the money that's coming in and you can grow your business. That's the only real true way of doing it without getting a halo investor, which is halo investors are essentially really rich people that are going out and like saying like, I'm betting on you. Here you go. Here's a couple $100,000, whatever it is. That's actually how we started Gotham, is that Noah got a halo investor, gave us $300,000, which enabled us to purchase our first car. And it, like, the guy made out like a bandit, because it was, I forget the terms of the loan, but we were paying back interest only for like 10 years as we were growing the business. And this guy probably made like $700,000 off of his $300,000, which is a great return, and if not even more. Not a bad place to be if you're investing in the right people, but that's a very risky investment. And fortunately, he bet on Noah and myself, and we did him well, and he doesn't regret it. I'm sure he's invested in other stuff, but also halo investors are investing money that it's like, here, peasants, like, here's some feed. I don't need any of this. And if I never see it again, great. If not, it's going to be a much higher rate of return than safer investments that he could have put that money in. So those are the ways to finance a company, especially a startup company. I'll get into the insurance aspect in an entire different video. There's only like 1 or 2 companies that insure. A lot of people avoid these. Like, a lot of people are doing things wrong, right? A lot of people are lying to banks, lying to insurance companies, and that's not a business. That's not scalable. If you go to try to sell your company, it's worth nothing because you don't have a company. You're running a gypsy operation. So if you want to start and get involved in this business properly, you have to take the proper channels. The easiest way to do it is start with money. And I tell everybody, if you have money, there's much better returns with much less risk than getting in the exotic car rental space. But if you're dead set on doing it, having money or having access to money is key. And those are the ways to do it. That may have been a little rambly. I'm sure some of it resonated with you, some of it didn't. But if you have any questions from here, feel free to shoot me an email, rob@superspeeders.com, with specific questions, and I'll try to help you out. Thanks for watching. See you next time.